All right, guys. So I'm excited to go ahead and just give you guys a quick little outlook on what I believe is actually going to happen going into this week. Now, one thing that I highly recommend you guys to start doing is just be aware, guys, from a more so a fundamental perspective of the major news releases that are actually going to be happening throughout the week. Because a big reason why trading Forex, guys, is probably one of the hardest things to actually do out there is because of the unpredictableness of this market. You know, there's certain things that we do not control, and market direction, overall market flow is one of those things that we do not have control over. But we can definitely give ourselves a much better opportunity of being on the correct side of the market if we at least understand what's going to happen from more of a fundamental perspective. Now, I'm not going to go too in depth, guys, on actually going in this calendar, because I do want to just give you guys outlooks from more of a technical perspective. But if you are interested, guys, in really understanding how news and how data and how sentiment is what really is the driving factor of these markets, then I highly recommend you guys to start tuning into my live streams on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday right here on my channel, where I'm literally going live and I'm breaking all this stuff down in depth so that we can really get some high probability trade ideas and trade setups, you know, for the actual upcoming week. So overall, definitely just be mindful, guys, of the actual news events that are happening throughout the week, and you know, understand them, and I promise you it will take your trading up 1,000%. You know, again, one thing that I realized, guys, over the course of my 7.5 years of trading is that 99% of Forex traders really only try to become profitable while trading only technicals, right? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If you right now feel like you're a profitable trader, or if you're not a profitable trader but you feel like your understanding of technical analysis is through the roof, but yet it's still not correlating up to profits, I highly recommend you to start getting more educated on fundamental and sentimental analysis, because that is the missing piece that you're missing. That is the piece of the whole equation that you're lacking, and that's why you're not seeing consistent results, because it's going to be it's extremely difficult, guys, to become profitable long term by only trading solely off of technicals. Do not let nobody lie to you. I'm the one that's telling you this. You have to understand all aspects of trading, all aspects of the forms of analysis. And when you do that, then you'll be able to go ahead and create some high probability setups from that, guys. But let's go ahead and take a look at the market and see what we ultimately got going on here, guys. So overall, you know, to pretty much close the week last week for the dollar, you know, we ended up closing with this little bearish engulfing overall. We had this little wick tail up here, but then the overall bearish engulfing. And that's pretty interesting to me, right? Because overall, guys, we have been bullish the dollar for some time now, right? I've been calling bullish dollar strength, guys, literally for the past couple, I would say maybe the past year or so. You know, and it's all documented as well, right? And the reason for that is just because of everything that we pretty much just went through, right? We actually seen COVID, you know, do a complete number on these economies, right? And because of that, the Fed actually literally started printing money. I mean, a boatload of money, right? Like, they literally created, guys, a quarter or a fifth of all dollars in circulation over the past 2-3 years. Now, that in itself, guys, is giving people so much access to money. And because of all that access to money, people were spending, which was causing the price of everything to increase, right? One of the big things that these central banks across the world are dealing with right now, and that all of us are dealing with as well, is the change in the price of goods and services, right? Everything is going up. The price of everything is costing more. Inflation is literally going higher and higher and higher. And this has to do, it's not solely because of everything with COVID and solely because of how much money was printed, but that is playing a major role, guys. So once we started printing all the time and started, you know, providing all these stimulus packages to individuals and bailouts for certain banks and stuff like that, that is a big reason, guys, why we're seeing an absolutely strong dollar across the board. And I believe it's still going to continue overall, you know, but what we could experience possibly, again, it's very hard for me to go against the dollar strength. I call it daddy dollar for a reason. The strength of the dollar is definitely something that's very hard to go against, but we could see either a short-term pullback before we actually go ahead and continue higher. Now, where can we pull back to? Well, we have a couple levels, guys, of demand that we can expect price to potentially pull back to. First level of demand is going to be right here at around the 107 level. And that's the level of demand because look at what happened last time we were up there. You know, price ended up going ahead and pretty much going sideways, range bound for a couple days. And then we had a massive spike in momentum, right? A spike in demand for the dollar as a whole. So that could potentially be an area where we see more demand come in, and then we see the dollar's dominance really start to come in and show itself. Now, another area, guys, is also going to be down here at this area around the 104.5 to 105 level. And this is just another area of supply and demand that I really think if this level doesn't hold, then we're probably going to go down to there. And then we're going to go ahead and see the market absolutely go ahead and continue his bullish trend from that level. So overall, though, guys, I am still extremely bullish the US dollar. It's just, I believe at least at the start of the week, we're probably going to experience some more of a short-term bearishness to then eventually go ahead and expect a more so continuation to the upside. Now, why is this important, right? Well, guys, you have to understand, especially why I like to analyze the dollar is because of the correlations with it in other currencies, right? So just a quick example, a quick breakdown, right? If we have a bearish USD, right, anything that ends in USD should go up. Anything that begins in USD should go down, right? Very simple correlation 101. But if we have a bullish USD, right, let's use this example now, bullish USD, then it's obviously going to be the flip side to it, right? If we have bullish USD, anything that ends in USD should go down in price. I cannot type. And anything that begins in USD should go up in price, okay? So that's why, in my opinion, guys, I like analyzing the actual dollar and why it's an important tool to use, especially if you trade USD pairs like I do. I'm predominantly USD pairs, right? I love trading dollar pairs because they're the most liquid, the most volatile currency pairs across the board. And because of that, because how much liquidity is utilized through the actual USD, the spread is usually pretty much non-existent, right? Like a lot of these pairs, guys, these USD pairs spreads are usually around 1 pip or less. So I actually like that as well. But overall, when you understand what the dollar is going to do, you have a good idea of what all the other currencies are going to do as well. But overall, we're either going to come down to one of these demand zones, either this one at around 107, or we're going to come down to this one as well at around 104.5, 105. And then from there, I believe we can go ahead and continue that overall dominant strength that we've been experiencing overall, right? And this is the thing, guys. The dollar has been absolutely dominant against almost every currency across the board, right? So when it's strong against every currency. When it's weak, it becomes weak against every currency for the most part. And these are things that we can utilize as Forex traders in terms of correlations to really understand what we can do moving forward. Now, another thing we also have to understand, guys, again, why is the dollar gaining strength and losing strength? It all comes down to the data that's being shown. That's why understanding fundamentals is so crucial. Understanding sentiment is so crucial so that you can understand what the dollar itself is going to do overall, guys. But let's go ahead and take a look now at certain currency pairs that we can actually go ahead and trade, like the Euro USD. Like I said, I do love trading the Euro overall. It's one of my favorite currency pairs to trade. And a big reason for it, being honest, is because it does the exact opposite of the dollar itself, right? So if the dollar's increasing in strength, the Euro is absolutely decreasing in strength, and vice versa. So what do I think can happen? Well, if I think that the dollar itself is going to become weak short term to then eventually continue its bullishness, well, that tells me, guys, that we can expect some short-term bullishness to then eventually see a continuation to the bearish side. I mean, guys, right now we're literally at levels that the euro has not seen in almost 2 decades, right? Almost 20 plus years. We have not seen the euro trading literally at parity with the actual US dollar. Now, what that means is that 1 euro is the equivalent of 1 USD. We have not seen that in 20 years. And that just has to do, guys, with the strength of the US dollar as a whole. Now, there is a lot happening over there in Europe, right? That's also causing these things. But overall, you know, just understanding that is very, very important. So what I'm going to be looking for going into this week, we have this area of supply that we can look for potential sells from. And then we also have this area of supply as well that we can also look for some potential sells from. So what I'm looking for going into this week is I'm going to be keeping my eyes on how price reacts up to here, right? Based on how we see this little order block. This is a daily order block that showed a lot of momentum come in. So depending on how we play off of that level, it's going to give me an idea on if I want to go ahead and jump in or not, guys. So let me go to lower time frame and give you guys an example of what I want to look for. Okay. So again, we are here. I'm gonna go to 1 hour actually. So we're here on the 1 hour time frame, guys. Right. And again, this area of supply is very important for us because again, this is really where the momentum truly started to pick back up. And you know, that's where we actually started seeing the market go continuous dominance back into that bearish trend. So if we see price come back up into this level, then there is a good chance, guys, since we've seen a lot of bearishness come in, that we also experience a similar reaction. Why is that? Is because if we had obviously a lot of traders were selling the euro because they wanted to go ahead and convert the euro into the dollar, they were selling their euros. There is a chance that there's a lot of unfilled orders that actually are sitting up here, and that once price does get back up there, those orders, those sell orders can also be triggered now with price going back up to that price point. A big reason why this is important, guys, because we have to understand the difference between premium and discounted levels, right? If you were, say, a buyer or a seller of the euros, and for this example, a seller of the euros, do you want to re-enter into sells down here at these discounted price points when price already made a move? No, not necessarily, right? Because if you're selling the euro, you don't want to sell it at a discount. You want to sell it at a premium, right? You want to sell it where it makes sense to actually go ahead and start selling from. So if you wanted to enter sells for the euro, then you would wait for price to typically get back into a premium level, sell it at a premium with expectations of it actually going ahead and continuing bearish, guys. So this is going to be one area I'm going to be keeping my eyes on going into this week, 1.01 level. And if this one doesn't hold, then obviously we'll go ahead and take a look at this higher level up here at around the 1.04 level, right? So overall, though, these are going to be my areas, my kill zones, guys, my areas where I'm expecting the market to go ahead and potentially go ahead and really short from for the euro. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes on those areas going into this week and seeing how we ultimately play out. Now, is it possible? Right? Is it possible for us to actually catch some buys up into those areas? It is, right? If you're more experienced, then yeah, you could definitely take advantage of it, especially if you know how to read structure and know how to read these type of plays right here on what the market is doing. Then yeah, there is a good chance for you to actually go ahead and catch a pullback and catch it back up. But if you're more of a newer trader, then I like to stay with the path of least resistance, right? So I recommend for you to just stay more so with the bearish side and just be patient, wait for the market to get up there, potentially get up there, and then go ahead and jump in from there, from that aspect in itself, right? But overall, not a bad look, guys, not a bad outlook. So that's what I'm gonna be looking for the euro going into this upcoming week. Maybe something like this is week where we could be paying attention to. And if this doesn't hold, then the next level is gonna be all the way up there. Now let's go ahead and see. And I'm gonna be honest, guys. A lot of these pairs that end in USD are gonna be very similar. There's not gonna be too much of a difference overall because again, you know, they pretty much move in accordance to the strength of the dollar. But what I'm looking for, guys, going into this week for AUD USD is possibly seeing price come up to this area of supply. Right. Again, I'm very big on supply and demand levels, guys. Like I'm not taking a trade unless it's at an area of supply or an area of demand. So if we're able to see price come back up to this area at 0.686, that's another area where I will be extremely comfortable, guys, with looking for some more shorts here for AUD USD overall. Right. So that's another one that I'm gonna be keeping my eyes on and seeing what we ultimately can potentially get that or get from. Right. So let's go ahead and take a look at, say, USD Cad now. USD Cad as well is a very interesting one, right? I already have this pretty much marked up, and I'm actually going to be looking, guys, for some potential buy opportunities down here at this 1.285, 1.29 level, you know, for USD Cad. I really believe that this is going to be a super attractive level for price to really go ahead and give us a potential trade from. So if we're able to see price come down to this area 1.28, 1.29, then I'm all day long going to be looking for some buys, guys, right? I'm very interested in, again, down here at this level, all right? Not right here at this level. I mean, price is going to do what it wants to do. I don't have control of market direction, but I'm not interested in from right here. If price does come there and it just continues flying, then it is what it is, right? I'll miss out on my trade. But I want to enter down here, right? I want to see all of this imbalance completely get filled, all of this inefficiency completely get filled by price, and then eventually we go ahead and look for more continuations to the upside, guys. So this is definitely gonna be an area I'm very interested in going into this week as well. And then another one, guys, is gonna be GJ, right? GJ pound yen, I know, is definitely a fan favorite, and this is actually a very interesting at a very interesting level. You know, we did just see the market, guys, give us a very strong reaction from this area of structure that we have down there. And I believe, I could be wrong, right? Obviously, again, I'm not a fortune teller, I'm not psychic, right? I'm a Forex trader, right? And I trade based off predictions and based off probabilities. So what I think can happen if we're able, okay, that's my name, but if we're able to see price break above this 165 level, then I'm expecting, guys, more upside for sure, right? I'm bullish the pound yen overall. I mean, if we really look at this from you know, this weekly perspective, right? We're pretty much in this period of overall correction, right? Like, I mean, we've been like, we overall, yeah, we're still pretty much very much in this correction type phase in accordance to the bigger move. But I'm very interested, guys, in seeing pound yen make it all the way up to this 175 level. That's all the way up here, right? So if we're able to see more opportunities to buy, then that is what I want to do all day long, right? So if we can break this 165 level, then I'm definitely going to be expecting a lot more upside, and I'm going to be targeting all the way up to the 175 level. Now, where or how can we actually go ahead and get into this trade? All right, well, let's go ahead and go to lower time frames now. Now we're on the 1 hour time frame. Well, if we actually see price break this little minor level of structure that we have here in the 1 hour, right? Again, even if we see a nice close above this 164.7, that could be an opportunity, right? Before we even break that 165. Now, the 165 is going to be my major area. If we close above that level, or close above 165.5, 166, maybe closer to that, then yeah, I'm definitely expecting a lot more upside. But even if we get a break and close above this level, then that's also an opportunity for us to go ahead and really ride this thing higher. Now, if it doesn't work out around those levels, then and we see price push back down, next area I'm going to be looking for, guys, is probably going to be around this level right here. Like if price does not just break those levels, then I'm really interested in this demand zone down here at around the 163.3 level, right? So overall, I'm still bullish. It's just a matter of seeing what price ends up doing, because overall we've been range bound for the past few days, and price breaks above, breaks out the range, that could lead to a continuation. If it doesn't, then we go back lower, we see a break of the range on the downside, and I will be looking for a buy off of there overall, guys. But overall, those are going to be the more so interesting opportunities that I'm going to be looking for going into this week, those 4 currency pairs. I do have something on gold, but gold is very tricky right now, right? Because typically during these type of market conditions, gold is supposed to usually be benefiting with the fact that interest rates is going up, right? Gold typically benefits when inflation is through the roof, but it hasn't, and that has to do with the strength of the dollar overall. The dollar is a dominant currency across the board, a dominant asset that everybody's trying to flush into. So it's very hard for me to try to go against the dollar, but I really do not want to be selling gold. That's just my opinion, right? Because from a fundamental perspective, typically it's supposed to gain strength, but it just has not been doing it. And when you're not fully certain, guys, on what the market is going to do, don't trade it, right? So overall, though, those are the setups I'm gonna be looking for, guys, going into this week. Hopefully you guys are able to take some type of analysis from what I'm doing, whether you guys agree with it or not. It is what it is, right? But definitely let's just, you know, prepare ourselves for the week and really see how much of an improvement we can have this week from the previous week. Now, if you guys do have a different analysis, by all means, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below, right? Let me know your thoughts and opinions on what these currency pairs can actually do. And then we can go ahead and pretty much bounce off ideas on my live stream that I do host every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern, right? But that's going to be it for me today for this week, family. Hopefully you guys gain some value. If you guys are not subscribed just yet, go ahead and make sure you smash that subscribe button, because I am providing massive value on this channel, and I will continue doing that no matter what. Family, I appreciate y'all. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's get it.